Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TEW's 2016 WoW Women of Wrestling. In today's episode is WoW Unleashed, the pay-per-view for WOW. And as of right now, as you can tell, Foxy Roxy, also known as Alicia Fox, has been sent home due to her drinking problems. And I gave her a stern warning, and it doesn't help my backstage rating. So we need to get this rating back up as soon as possible because it's bringing too much negative influence at this point. And I'm kind of very disappointed at this moment. So right now I got the pay-per-view all set up, and all I need to do is to get this show started. But before I do, I want to remind you guys, we only have 51 days, as Shayna Baszler is off to train for an MMA fight in 51 days. But there's also going to be one major problem of this pay-per-view, and that is one particular match that I planned for, but due to a certain chemistry of two talents that has not very good chemistry, I might have to cancel the match and try to come up with a better plan. So, without further ado, our prestige is in D minus, momentum is B minus, and we're in the 37th ranking at this point. So we need to get our show going. But I want you guys to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so you won't miss a single video that I upload. I'm trying not to get tongue twisted, but it's really hard. So, for that in mind, let's get right into the episode, the first pay-per-view episode of WoW Unleashed. So, our first segment for tonight is Stephanie McMahon saying in a freestyle segment, "Welcome to WoW Unleashed, where we have one of the biggest stars in WOW history, Lana Starr, Mickie James, Queen Charlotte, Harley Q, Amber O'Neil, Santana Garrett, and, of course, Bobby Roberts." This is technically her mentioning these names. And it gains a bit of heat of the storyline, which is Hollywood star versus country singer star. And we have a tag team tournament storyline advance, but gains a bit of heat. And it has a C minus. So far, Stephanie is doing a good job of making the show a little bit better. But as far as match-wise, it depends on the opponents and all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and get right into our first match, which is a D minus. This is an extremely short match. Abilene Maverick defeated Chloe Hertz in an evening gown match, which I put it on this pay-per-view because for some odd reason they're not doing well in physicality in a regular match. And if so, then the match had very little drama and flow to it, as nobody in the ring had the physicality to take control properly. So that's kind of a bust for this match, but it gains a D minus rating. However, the intense physicality match of this evening gown match was too much for fans, which is kind of weird. But it gains heat for the storyline, so D plus for Abilene Maverick, a solid C for Chloe Hertz, and we have no work and improvements. So good job. An E plus from Mickie James. Mickie James is having an interview stating that she will defeat Lana Starr for the WOW Championship. She's feeling very confident, and this advanced the storyline. So good job for Mickie James, an E plus rating. Moving on to E plus to E minus. Didn't have much heat, terrible wrestling. Queen Charlotte defeated Goddess Moon by pinfall with a natural selection. And I still need to go ahead and get their new finishers and all that stuff. But this match got the crowd hotter. E plus for Charlotte, F plus for Ember, and it gains heat to the storyline. So I may figure that I will continue with this as it follows. No work and improvements. Quite shocking. With an E- rating, Harley Q attacks Fire backstage, then stomps on her body before leaving. Technically, this is supposed to lead to a match between her and Fire. Fire gets better at her gimmick, and this advances the storyline called Little Miss Harley. Very good. Another E- rating. Annabelle didn't have much heat, terrible wrestling. Ursula, also known as Priscilla, defeated Jungle Girl in 6 minutes and 55 seconds by submission with a Tilt-A-Whirl Dragon Sleeper, which I needed to change that finisher to something else. The Temptress did some good work at ringside. This match got the crowd hotter. This gains heat to the storyline. Too much physicality because it's intense. And Jungle Girl gets a solid E in her in-ring performance, while Ursula gets an E-. And there are no work and improvements whatsoever. With a solid F, it lost heat due to the storyline. This is the match, this is the one that I was talking about. The Bully Busters attacks Poison Ivy and Zatanna backstage and leave them down and out. And the reason why I made this segment is because they didn't have good chemistry as a tag team. So I have to separate them to make them as a singles competitor. But in order to do that, I need to figure out how to make Zatanna a babyface while Poison Ivy will remain as a heel. So far, this pay-per-view has gone almost downhill. But there's no guarantee just yet, so let's move on to the next segment. We got a solid E in a poor match, but at least it gives a solid E instead of an E-. The All-American Girls defeated Cage Heat in 12 minutes and 40 seconds when Santana Garrett defeated Loca by pinfall with a Shining Star Press, which means the All-American Girls wins the WOW Tag Team Championships. Sophia Lopez did some good work at ringside. Delta Loda Payne, was really off her game. Loda Payne and Sophia are good pairings of each other and stuff. Too much intensity and all that. This gained heat due to the storyline, but I might have to end it because that is the end of the tournament. So both Delta Loda Payne and Amber O'Neil gets a solid E in their in-ring performances, while Santana Garrett gets an E+ and Loca gets an E-. Now the question is, are there any other working improvements? Yes, there's one, which Santana Garrett is improving in Rumble skills. That's very nice. Moving on to our next segment. This one lost heat because they're celebrating. With an E-, after the match, they celebrate each other by drinking, according to this text, they're drinking beer, but let's pretend they're drinking some soda water. They're drinking some soda water, excuse me. And at this point, that is the end of the tournament. I almost forgot that you could end the storyline. If there is a way, but I totally forgot how to do it because it's been a while since I played this. So let's go ahead to the next segment with an E+ rating. Decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Barbie Roberts defeated Frost by pinfall with a low blow. Oh my goodness, she's doing something not following the rules a little bit, but either way, we're going to change that signature move, probably her finisher, but she defeated Frost in 8 minutes and 32 seconds. Cherry did some good work at ringside. Barbie gets a D, which is a solid D, while Frost gets an E minus. And it gains heat due to the storyline. And there are no working improvements whatsoever. With a solid E, however, which lost heat due to the storyline, Lana Starr attacks Mickie James backstage. The purpose of that is for Lana Starr to make sure that Mickie James does not get a lot of advantage once their match is coming up. So, that's technically what's going on. Anyways, with an E minus rating, but gains heat due to this villainous rampage storyline, which I was supposed to end it there, but I totally forgot how, because it's been a while. So the Bully Busters' reasonings of attacking Satana and Poison is that they're not in the same level as they are, and they're just a bunch of bullies and hypocrites. But they do want to congratulate the All-American Girls for winning the Tag Team Championships, and would like to have a shot at the title. So this also advances the tournament storyline, but I'm going to have to end that storyline before it gets any further. Moving on with a solid E, Terrible Wrestling didn't have much heat, even though it gains heat due to the storyline. Harley Q defeated Fire in 11 minutes and 18 seconds by pinfall with a Nitro Blisterine. Okay. Let's see. E plus for Harley, F plus for Fire, and no working improvements. Yay. This one lost heat because we have an F plus rating. So Fire recovers after she lost to Harley. Harley continues to beat her up once more. So it's quite obvious that something is up with her. With an F plus rating, which lost heat due to the tag team tournament, but still advances the story of the villainous Rampage storyline, it has been made official. And I'm going to book this not for the next pay-per-view, but for the TV show of WoW Superheroes. It looks like the All-American Girls are going to be facing the Bully Busters for the Tag Team Championships. Now this may take a while to get this edited. So Keita Rush, Steffi Slays. Come on, there we go. We're going to do that, and there we go. That is going to be coming up in the next WoW Superheroes episode. So let's move on to the next segment with a solid E. Decent reaction from the crowd, but subpar wrestling. Mickie James defeated Lana Starr, the Hollywood star, in 15 minutes and 56 seconds by pinfall with a Lori DDT. And Mickie James wins the WOW Championship. Now, I'm supposed to give the win to Lana Starr, but Mickie isn't having it, so I have to give her the championship. But I also need to come up with a better storyline. Mickie James was tired towards the end, but we lost heat due to the segment and all that kind of stuff, and that was it. Lana Starr was also tired. Kitty did some good work at ringside, and Mickie James' in-ring performances is at E+, while Lana Starr is a solid E. And there are no working improvements. With a D- rating, after the match, Mickie James continues to celebrate with all of her fans as she holds the title up the air. And then all of a sudden we have Lacey Evans and Lana Starr beating Mickie James down. Whatever reason why Lacey Evans is there, I put it there just because I figured why not chose her to be Mickey's next opponent or to continue the storyline with Lana Starr, which may happen, but that is the end of the Wilds Unleashed pay-per-view. So is it successful? Let's find out. We end the show with a D-. Fire was slightly overused. The crowd was disappointed and all that kind of stuff. And this show was increased the popularity in one region, which is quite disappointing, but let's go ahead and just let's go ahead and give Mickie James, also Barbie, a compliment, and let's see. I need to give someone some encouragement, but I don't know who. Well, actually, let's praise Santana Garrett and make the speech. Mickie seems pleased, so is Roberts and Garrett.